Okay, hi there everybody. Here we have another CPE writing. This is a part 2 writing. And here's the question. A literary magazine has asked readers to send in letters about learning lessons from novels. You decide to write a letter referring to the novel you have read. In your letter, you should describe the lesson you learned, how you have applied it to your life, and assess how it is likely to affect you in the future. Write your letter. Learning from a novel. Dear editor, I'm writing in response to your request for articles about learning lessons from novels. I have read K-Pax by Gene Brewer recently. From this story, I learnt many things, such as how powerful imagination really is. I learned, or maybe I have learned as well. You could both are possible. The story takes place in New York, and it is written from the perspective of Dr. Gene Brewer, who is a diligent psychologist. He has a top tier, wrong spelling, T-I-E-R, because tier is what comes out of your eye. He has a top tier career but the career is the whole lifetime, a top tier position in the Manhattan Mental Asylum. Suffice it to say that spending most of his time in his workplace has a backfire for his private life. Okay, suffice it to say that no comma necessary here. Spending most of his time in his workplace has, and this we need to use as a verb, backfired, I think has backfired, now we need the right preposition, has backfired onto his private life. He is not able to fulfill his family man's role, so nearly, but his role as a family man. He's not able to fulfill his role as a family man. A man behaves disturbed on the street, and he ends up in a ward of this Psychiatric Institute where Gene works. So a man behaves. So you can't behave disturbed. So a man has been behaving strangely on the street. He seems disturbed. And he ends up in a ward of this Psychiatric Institute where Gene works. Prot claims to be a bona fide extraterrestrial being from the planet X, where it neither has crime nor authority. So where instead of it has, where there is neither crime nor authority. Although he does not provide any conclusive evidence about his statements, his arcane knowledge of astrology baffles experienced and erudite doctors. Astrology or astronomy? Astrology is looking at the stars and predicting the future, whereas astronomy is the science of looking at the stars. So astronomy, I'm certain. His arcane knowledge of astronomy baffles experienced and erudite doctors. Moreover, good word, Prot has a positive impact on the mental patient's well-being. Okay. On other reads much better because this says the other mental patient's well-being. Dr. Gene Brewer ostensibly questions the veracity of his patients' accounts. Be that as it may, he actively investigates every possible layer, every possible is various, of this mysterious case in order to unravel his patient's real identity. I am unable to decide on the genre of this book, or whether it is a clever concoction of science fiction and psychological drama. Readers have been left to their own devices to ponder about the meanings of the messages. I want to put a semicolon here. So let's put one, yeah. Or you could put an and. I'm unable to decide on the genre of this book, or whether it is a clever concoction of science fiction and psychological drama. Readers have been left to their own devices to ponder about the meanings of the messages. Whoops. The story raises the perennial question, whether we are alone in the universe or not. I think I might put a comma there. So immense is the social pressure on an individual to comply with the so-called norm. Very, very good. So immense is the societal pressure on an individual to comply with the so-called norm that the yes, so not so. You need a that. Okay, so immense is the societal pressure on an individual to comply with the so-called norm. Very good. That the overwhelming majority merely mimic the accepted behavioral patterns ad nauseam. That's a really good sentence. You're starting to nail this inversion. Yes. In the visceral fear of being ostracized, they would rather choose to be conformist and allow their creativity to lay dormant. The medical teams and practices are simplified so that they can be understood by a lay person. Okay, I think I want, okay, the medical terms and practices in the film or in the book are simplified so that they can be understood by a lay person. In conclusion, I feel that this book teaches us we should really accept that we are different and reality can be subjective and diverse. Not only does it provide a great source of entertainment, but it also sheds new light on some intriguing metaphysical issues. Best regard, Roland. So first thing to note, see how easy that's been for me to read. That's a really good sign. It's taken me a very short time to do it as well. Another very good sign. Okay, you've answered the question really, really, really well. I think I'm probably going to give you 5 out of 5 for that. The the vocabulary is very nice, and there's some very interesting pieces of vocabulary. I'm probably going to go for 4.5 out of that. Cohesion. The cohesion is great. There are lots of semicolons. I like that. Moreover, I like this suffice it to say and others. And also the whole thing joins together. What you read one thing and the next thing logically follows on. And that's really very good. Cohesion, 4.5. From the point of view of mistakes, there are not a great deal of mistakes. Yeah, we got a spelling mistake here, and I think there was another one as well, which they'll probably mark you down a little bit on. I think I'm probably going to give you a 4 on that, because the grammar that you've used is quite ambitious. You've nailed finally this so inversion, but normally you've got to get the that. So adjective is the noun, that something else happens. Yeah? Okay, this is just the last tiny detail to it. Yeah, you missed a 2 here as well. Yeah, I would say 4 out of 5 for correctness. This is a good essay, though. I really like it. I think I want to give this essay an 8 at CPE. It reads very, very well. The mistakes don't get in the way of understanding. The cohesion's very good. So a very good essay indeed. I think it's very good work. Well done.